Good morning and welcome to SuperScreen News at 10. I am Olamide Onwonka. President Muhammadu Buhari says Boko Haram is no longer a serious fighting force. President Buhari, who was represented by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the opening of the 8th National Security Seminar 2018, said the terrorists, whom he described as faceless, were capable of doing anything to continue to get media attention. Despite the ugly incidents witnessed recently in Dapchi, Yobe State, and Ran in Borno State, the president said there should be no room for self-pity or frustration on the part of the government. According to him, the Dapchi and Ran incidents should rekindle the determination of the government and the armed forces to permanently subdue terrorism in Nigeria. To other stories now, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed that any Fulani herdsman who is found in possession of AK-47 rifles should be charged to court. The president disclosed this in Jalingo, Taraba State, during a visit to the state to commiserate with the people who lost loved ones in the wake of violence that engulfed the area recently. President Muhammadu Buhari met with the various traditional rulers in the state and listened to the complaints of the various ethnic groups in the state. He spoke at a government house, Jalingo, and lamented lack of oneness and inability of the people to live together in peace and brothers as sisters. The president said he will soon embark on the same visits to Zamfara and Benue states, also to condole with those who lost their loved ones. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has donated the sum of $10 million to Nigeria to aid the nation's fight against insurgency. The team, led by Saudi Arabia, said the donation is part of the King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Program. The team leader of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Defense Ministry, Nasser Motbak, told journalists that the donation is expected to aid the provision of food and other basic amenities in the IDP camps in the northeast region of the country. Nigeria's Defense Minister, retired Brigadier General Mansour Dan Ali, while receiving the team from Saudi Arabia, said the fund will go a long way in helping to fight terrorism in the country. Now, the groups, including the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, National Council of TVUs, and the Afenifere, has condemned President Muhammadu Buhari over his statements on the killings in the country during his visit to Taraba State on Monday. During the visit, the president said the crisis in Mambila Plateau in Taraba State had claimed more lives than herdsmen killings in Benue and Zamfara states. In reaction to the president's statement, National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Kola Ologbondinyo, expressed disbelief at the president's dismissal of public criticism over his delay in visiting the troubled areas. A former Nigerian ambassador to the Republic of Cameroon and secretary to the Taraba state government, Emmanuel Njiwa, also said the visit of the president was good, but must be backed with action, urging the president to disarm herdsmen moving about with guns and terrorizing people. The Benue State Security Council has mandated security agents in the state to immediately dislodge armed herdsmen who invade Matoho Inland and Island in Makurdi. Thousands of farmers were said to be rendered homeless when armed herdsmen invaded Mbato and ordered the residents to vacate their homes. Governor Autumn, after a meeting with Security Council in the state, told the displaced indigenes of Mbato Island at the government house that the security agents will swing into action. Autumn also insisted that the open grazing prohibition law will not be repealed. Autumn said the security agencies should ensure they chase away all the killer herdsmen and mercenary herdsmen that invaded the land within the week. Report says unknown gunmen suspected to be sea pirates has killed 3 persons and injured 2 others during the invasion of Ayama community in Ogba local government area of Bayelsa State. The suspected pirates, said to be about 10 persons, stormed the community and opened fire on a crowd of natives. The same set of pirates also extended their invasion to Ogba town, another community in Ogba local government area, abducting one Augusta Apaga. a member of the State House of Assembly representing Ogba constituency 2. The Gibson, who confirmed the incident, also had strong restrictions for the terms. According to him, the sea pirates shot into the community for over 30 minutes before towing away more than 10 speedboats. The State Police PRO, Anistin Botwan, confirmed the incident, saying the investigation has commenced to look into the incident. And to other stories, the Police Service Commission, the PSC, has approved the promotion of 414 senior police officers to their next ranks, and amongst them is Danjuma Ibrahim. Danjuma, who was recently acquitted over the APO6 killings and was alleged to have connived with other officers to cause the death of Igbo traders arrested by the police attached to Garaki Police Division. However, Danjuma was acquitted by the court, after which he was reinstated by the police authorities and is now an Assistant Inspector General of Police. The Commission's Head of Information, Ikechukwu Ani, said the promotions form the high point of the 26th plenary meeting of the Commission held in Abuja from February 27 to March the 1st. The Senate has summoned the Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, to appear before it and give detailed briefing on steps taken to minimize human errors and avoid preventable air crashes. This resolution by the upper chamber of the National Assembly is coming in the wake of an incident in the Port Harcourt involving Dana Airline, which overshot the runway, leading and landing at the airport. More details in this report.
The summoning of the Minister of State for Aviation, Ada Sirika, by the Senate is equal to a motion moved by Senator Olugbenga Ashafa and 8 other co-sponsors during Tuesday's plenary. Ashafa cited the Dana Airline incident where the plane overshot the runway, which occurred at the Port Harcourt airport, and another incident involving the same airline which happened 2 weeks earlier, where the door of its aircraft fell off upon landing at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja.
Some of the human errors identified by AIB as causes of the plane crashes include non-lightening of runways and airfields, poorly constructed drainage culverts, inaccurate information by the control tower, lack of proper certification of radio operators, and poor supervision of aircraft imported into the country.
Dana must be properly investigated, and if possible, ask AIB to suspend Dana for now. If it's coincidental, fine, so be it, but let's be sure. But it can't, within 2 weeks, you have 2 near misses. I think it's worrisome, and it's something we really need to look into.
The lawmakers were emphatic on the need to act fast on the warning signs and ensure the safety of Nigerians is accorded the extent of seriousness it deserves, a view which was unanimously shared by the House, including former Aviation Minister Stella Odua.
Government to give them the requisite fund that they need as a single-digit rate. That is the only way aviation airline operators can survive. Otherwise, they cannot. Therefore, intervention fund is required. For training, aviation needs special funding for personnel training.
Ordinary landing equipment that should be in airports, the commonest of all things, that they can land at any time, whether in the daytime or the nighttime or during the rain. We don't have them in airports here. And the worst that some of those things that were procured already, we were shown where they were parked. They couldn't even install them in Abuja and in Lagos.
Aliyu Abdullahi advocated the declaration of a state of emergency of the aviation sector, while the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, in his ruling, described the call as valid and deserving of attention.
We should be very decisive with respect to this. If necessary, honestly, it is time for us to declare emergency.
It's important that this matter is settled as quickly as possible so that we'll be able to be sure that those who fly in Nigeria will fly safely. So myself, I had my own personal experience of last month where an aircraft I was on board missed the runway twice. Missed the first one, came back and missed the second time. It was just God that saved us. So I'm sure that all of us, or most of us, have had similar experience. So it is important for us to ensure that this matter is sorted out and then that the regulatory agencies do their work.
The Senate also mandated the Minister of State for Aviation to direct all relevant agencies in the aviation industry to conduct a maintenance and airworthiness audit of all commercial aircraft operating within the Nigerian airspace, as well as training of air staff.
The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has appealed to the Lagos State government to reverse its current increment in the recent reenacted land use charge. In a response, the Lagos State Governor, Akinwumi Ambode, said he's ready to dialogue with the organized private sector on the LUC with a view to arriving at a compromise. You will recall that the Coalition of Real Estate Investors and Surveyors in Lagos State has revealed through analysis of the LUCL 2018 that owners and occupiers are expected to pay a token percentage of 0.076% of the value of the access property. State government explained that the recent increase in the land use charge would provide more resources to the state to provide social service and infrastructure to the benefit of the general public. The Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, ACPN, says unrestricted access to medicines through the open drug and inadequate regulatory enforcement market has remained the root cause of rampant drug misuse and abuse in the society. The pharmacists noted the incessant postponement by federal government of the closure of open drug marketplaces and full implementation of the National Drug Distribution Guidelines will further aggravate the situation. Speaking during the 2018 annual general meeting of the association, Chairman of the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, Lagos State Branch, Abiola Paul Ozier, urged the federal government to keep the December 2018 deadline for closing all open drug markets in the country. And now Bauchi State government says Lassa fever has killed 3 people in the state, with a record of 25 suspected cases of the disease in 7 local government areas. The chairman of the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Ibrahim Gamawa, confirmed this at the opening of clinician sensitization training on Lassa fever in the state. Gamawa listed the affected local government areas as Alkaleri, Bauchi, Bogoro, Das, Tafawa Balewa, Toro, and Waji. Gamawa, who reminded healthcare workers that Lassa fever presents initially like any other disease, causing a terrible fever as malaria, advising them to practice standard precautions at all times. The Federal High Court in Lagos has frozen the Zenith Bank account of the Lagos State Government Number Plate Production Authority over an alleged fraud of 3 billion naira. Justice Mohammed Idris made the freezing order following an expert application by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The judge said the account would remain frozen pending the conclusion of EFCC's investigations into the alleged 3 billion naira fraud. The freezing order also affected 32 other bank accounts belonging to companies which were allegedly used to divert the 3 billion naira from the Lagos State Government Number Plate Production Authority. You're watching SuperScreen News at 10. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll take some news from the business world. Stay with us.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information, notice, at least maybe a week or so. There was nothing like that.
Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. People are dying every day, but Nigeria government are keeping quiet. Housemen are killing people. Why? It's not what we expected because of these old men that are leading us, and you people know, you are aware that these people are not the right people to lead us. These kind of people that are leading us here are people of black mind. They just care about themselves and their family. You are affecting my village. Let me use grass. If I call it use grass, I'm not mistake. The other place where they build a shop, call it plaza. Say each shop they are 4 million naira, which I don't have the money, so I have to leave. If you plan to get a tribal mark, it takes a lot of pain, but after some time, you enjoy it. No, we experience hold up now during the construction time. Then after some time, we start enjoying it. The way they are doing the construction is too slow. It's too slow. The construction is too slow. They should stop the construction and make sure people go into their businesses and do their businesses.
stories. The federal government has said it will start the prosecute of tax defaulters who fail to take advantage of the 9-month period of grace amnesty window provided by the Voluntary Asset and Income Declaration Scheme, VAIDs, which valid from April 1, 2018. Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun, who disclosed this to journalists, said the VAIDs offers a grace period from July 1 to March 31st for tax defaulters to voluntarily pay back to the government what they owe. In exchange, the government promises to waive penalties that should have been levied and the interest that should have been paid on overdue taxes. The minister also said the government was aware of the slow nature of the judicial system and would be setting up special courts to fast-track the adjudication of tax-related offences under the VAID scheme. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says the volume of economic activity through the nation's seaports improved marginally in the year 2017. A total of 71.9 million metric tons of cargoes was recorded during the year, as against 70.82 metric tons in 2016, representing an increase of 1.5%. This was confirmed in its report released yesterday, which confirmed the number of vessels calling at the nation's ports increasing to 4,622 from 4,175 in 2016, representing an increase of 10.7%. The report also stated that the number of passenger traffic at the Calabar port within the period under review is 6,704 in 2017, as against 7,442 in 2016. The House of Representatives is to investigate the alleged loss of 2 billion naira and $3.8 million through banks' non-payment of interest on the proceedings of the sale of the PHCN successor companies. The decision followed the unanimous adoption of a motion by Chukwuka Onyema at the plenary session. Onyema said the Electric Power Sector Reform Act of 2005 emboldened the Power Holding Company of Nigeria into 18 successor companies. He said the companies were 6-generation companies and 12 distribution companies covering the 36 states of the Federation, as well as the National Power Transmission Company. The House resolved to set up another committee to carry out the probe and to report back to the House within 6 weeks for further legislative actions to be taken. Still in the business world, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, says all is set to begin with the long-awaited forensic audit of Oando PLC. The acting Director General of the Commission, Abdul Zubair, who disclosed this in Abuja, said the 2 lawsuits filed by Oando PLC and some of its shareholders, which restrained the commencement of the audit process, has been vacated. Zubair said following the dismissal and striking out of the suits, the Security and Exchange Commission has duly informed the firm of the law to proceed with the forensic audit. And now for some money markets. The Nigerian stock market began the week in gain after 32 stocks appreciated, leading to a 229 billion naira rise in the Nigerian Stock Exchange market capitalization. The NSE All-Share Index gained 1.5% to settle at 43,513.93 from 42,876.23 basis points, while year-to-year date return also grew to 13.8%. The NSE market capitalization closed at 15.632 trillion naira from 15.402 trillion naira, and the positive performance was driven majorly by price appreciations in Dangote Cement, Seplat Petroleum, and Guarantee Trust Bank PLC as a 3.8%, 8.6%, and 1.8% respectively. You're still watching SuperScreen News at 10. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some foreign stories and some sports stories. Stay with us.
Super Dawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on SuperScreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.